Good morning, Arsene.
Morning.
You've had a good few days at Arsenal in the FA Cup final, coming back to beat West Ham and then back in control of fourth place. How important do you think this little period may turn out to be in the course of your season?
We are in a period of a season where every game has a big impact on the rest of the games and the rest of the season. So you just prepare massively well for the next game and try to give your best, and hope that the results around you go for you.
But it must be a weight off your shoulders to a certain extent to have fourth place back under your control.
It is, of course, a big encouragement, but there is a lot of work to do for us, and that's what we want to continue to do. We have a big game at Hull, and just want to prepare as well as we can for it. I think mentally we are in a better shape than a week ago, because we had two important wins, and that of course puts us in a better condition on the confidence front.
Hull away at the weekend. Your team news, please?
Well, I think Gibbs will be out anyway for the weekend. That Monreal is possibly available, is a possibility, and Özil could be available to travel as well. I will see that on Friday and Saturday.
Having a boost, is it to have Özil at this time of the season when defences are tired? He's the player that can pick a pass and assist. He would seem to be a key player to have back at this time.
It's good to have him back, because you had so many offensive players out, but to have some of them back, just would say Flamini is available as well again because he was suspended, and but it's good to have Mesut back. He gives you always opportunities to score, and I have to test him physically tomorrow and Saturday to see if he can travel.
And just lastly from me, obviously this fixture is the FA Cup final as well, but surely that's something you've got to wipe from your mind. You've got a job to do in the Premier League.
We are completely Premier League now until the FA Cup final, and Hull has done a remarkable season, and they have done well at home, so we know that for us a big performance is needed.
Bearing in mind that obviously you've got to keep an eye on Mesut the next 48 hours, does the fact that he scored against Hull, would that come into your thinking?
No, it's just it's good to have him back. He was one of our main players offensively, and we are a team who is used to score goals, and recently away from home we have not scored so much, so it's important we get back our offensive potential back.
You spoke there about the mental effect, the positive mental effect of the last 5 days. Could you describe how you've seen that around the training ground?
Well, a team who doesn't win is not happy, and questions, of course, come out very quickly. So what is important is that to play well football, you need to be completely confident and believe in your game, and the belief is stronger when your recent history of the team is positive.
Are you 5 wins away from a very successful season?
Look, you can say that, yes, but what we want is to win our next game. The best way to deal with that situation is to win the next one.
But given some of the criticism you've had, particularly in recent weeks, would it be gratifying for you to qualify for the Champions League and win silverware?
I want, what is satisfying for me is that we do as well as we can until the end of the season, and that you can turn and think this team has behaved really like a top-level professional team with the ups and the downs, and that's what you want from your team, and feel that the team has given as much as they could, and after you leave the judgment to other people. We want to come out of a season and think we have given absolutely everything, and I must say this team has been absolutely focused in since the start of the season, and we had our downs and big downs through some periods, but the behaviour was always focused.
Manchester City finished second or third and win the League Cup. It's the worst season, isn't it, for them than if you win the FA Cup and finish fourth? given the money that they've
Look,
spent?
I don't judge our season before it's finished, so I don't do it for Man City as well. I think I leave that to you.
Roberto Martinez says it's actually better being fifth because the pressure's off.
I don't mind with that, you know. We want pressure. Pressure is positive because you play for something, and so when you play for something, it's a challenge, but as well a great opportunity to do well. That's what we live for.
Can I ask you for your reaction to the allocation of 25,000 tickets only for Arsenal for the FA Cup final? You've got 45,000 season ticket holders.
I agree with the only, and I don't know well enough the rules, you know, but before, I think one of the charm of the FA Cup final was always that the stadium was really divided in two, and it's a shame that it doesn't happen anymore, because that was absolutely a fantastic atmosphere always. And I remember I've been at the European Championship finals of the nations and World Cup finals, and always it's a little bit a lack of atmosphere because it's so divided, and I think the atmosphere will lose a little bit.
Because officially you had 49,000 at the semi-final, it seemed like more like 60,000 to me, Arsenal fans. It would be a shame if there's only 25,000 there for the final.
Yes, but if you ask me, I'm in favour that they're all there, of course, but I don't make the rules.
Would you do anything as a club to appeal it, do you think? Or?
I haven't spoken to our board because I couldn't attend the board meeting on Monday, and I haven't spoken to Ivan Gazidis yet what they have decided about that, but they have my support.
Who will play in goal at Wembley?
Look, in goal on at Hull,
No,
Chesney at Wembley, I don't know yet, so much can happen.
We've obviously read Borchek's comments about he's the number one, he feels he should play.
Look, I don't know where you read that, and anyway, he will not decide that.
Is it a concern of yours?
The players are responsible for their performances, and I'm responsible for the decisions I make.
It seems that he may not have said that, but is it a concern of yours that you've got a player who's leaving at the end of the season and maybe a player who's staying who's going to be a bit upset by not playing?
Look, I think what is important is the next game in football, and the next game is Hull, and the cup final is in 1 month. Who knows what will happen in the next months?
Thanks,
Arsene, what have you made of Hull back in the Premier League and the sort of style of football that they've played under Steve Bruce this season?
He has done extremely well. He's one of the remarkable managers of the season because he has maintained Hull in the Premier League because they are safe, and he has reached the FA Cup final. That's remarkable what he has achieved.
And a couple of months ago we were sat here possibly talking to you about a title challenge. Now we're talking about a battle for fourth. If some Arsenal fans asked the question, where exactly have we gone from last season to this season, what would you say to them?
I think we have moved a lot forward, that we are considering to what happened to us, the number of injuries we had in a crucial period of the season. We were 17 or 18 times top of the league, but what had not happened last year. We in the FA Cup final. We went out only against Bayern Munich in the Champions League with 10 men. We came out of a very difficult Champions League group, and I believe that we've shown some real potential and promise for the future.
Arsene, how disruptive was it for you, and I suppose for the fans as well, to have this game moved from Saturday to Sunday?
For me, it was not really disruptive. The difficulty was to deal with the fact that we played on Saturday and Tuesday night, you know, because we had played extra time, and I had to protect some players. But the fact that it moved from Saturday to Sunday for us in the preparation is not too disturbing.
Does it give Chelsea an advantage, do you think, in the title race?
I don't care about Chelsea.
I mean, I suppose, is it good though that the Premier League are helping English teams in Europe? Have you ever tried to get that kind of help?
We never got any help on that front. Never.
But you asked the question.
Sorry?
But you asked the question in the Premier League.
Look, there is no written rule. When we speak to the Premier League, it's not the Premier League, it's the televisions who help. It's not the Premier League. The televisions decide who plays when. And some clubs have maybe better introductions with televisions. We never had, and we never tried to influence the decisions of Sky or any other company.
So should there be more consistency in this case then?
Look, if you want to know more, you look at the teams who have been protected since the start of the season. And the teams who had the biggest rest between games, and you will see, you will come to your own conclusions. And I don't question the objectivity of the televisions, but sometimes their choices don't look very rational.
So you've obviously done the research. Are you saying Chelsea have had more rest? Who's had more rest?
I just told you what I think about Chelsea. It's not my problem. What I think is if you want an objective view, I haven't made it. You just make your own analysis between Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Man United and all the other teams who play in the Champions League, and you will come to your own conclusions.
Okay.
Arsene, you mentioned there about Steve Bruce. Who would be your manager, apart from yourself, obviously? Who would be your manager of the...
I wouldn't choose myself, but Steve Bruce, Tony Pulis have done exceptional work.
I suppose
That is for sure. Sorry?
I suppose it depends on how the title pans out with Brendan Rodgers.
As well, yes, after the guy who will win the Premiership. But I believe that the real job of a manager is to take the best out of the potential of a team. And the easy way is always to choose the guy who wins the league, but it's not always him who has done the best job. The real job of our is to take the best out of the potential of a team, and certainly there are candidates.
Do you feel you've been able to do that this season, or has there just been something slightly missing?
Look, I'm not in the best position to judge my own work publicly. I just promise you one thing, I always sit down and try to be as honest as I can be with myself. The only thing I can say, I put total commitment from the first to the last day of the season, and I will.
Just on Mesut and his return, how would you view his campaign in general, and do you think it's enough to look forward to maybe next season? Because he seems to have had these peaks and troughs, doesn't he, in his form?
Yes, he had a period where he was tired because he was not used to play through the season, you know, and before he got injured he had a period where he was a bit jaded. I think he's a fantastic football player, and I would put him on the list to be player of the season next season.
Was there a sense of relief, Arsene, when you saw the scoreline coming in from Everton last night?
Look, let's be honest. Of course, we wanted Crystal Palace to make a result, but you know that in the Premier League it is like that. Since the start of the season, we have learned one thing: that you can drop points everywhere.
Were you surprised with the scoreline, though? Was it one of the games you didn't see Everton maybe slipping up in?
Surprised, yes and no, because Crystal Palace, you look at the consistency of their results in the last 2 months, it's very impressive. They've beaten Chelsea, they've beaten now Everton, they've made some great results, so you're not completely surprised. They have beaten Chelsea at home, so the question mark was, can they achieve that away from home?
And you don't buy into the idea that being in fifth is a better position, as maybe Roberto Martinez has suggested?
Look, the best position is as high as possible.